Give me a second. Turning on the other lines. Here we go. T-Dub, what's going on? Continental Cupid with Zippino, Trusty, Anush, good evening. Boutique Jewel, Vegas Vacation, Dudley Thomas, Mama, don't let your babies grow up to be cowboys. D, what's happening? B, Cody, Turd McPherson. Jameson, good evening. Angel, how are you doing? Who do we have over here? Erica, good evening. Rob, Big App 100. Trusty 0707 is going. Zippino, good evening. Tootin Tesla. Campstone. Scop Palcher, good evening. Stop. Sebastian, what's going on, Sebastian? Techo Runner. Mike, what's going on? Andrew, what's going on? Nick Casey, Tony, Phil, Florida Girl. Good evening, Miss Florida Girl, and how are you today? Aaron, what's going on, Aaron? Alan, how you doing? Jen Pinka, back again. Coach Bill 57, what's happening, Coach Bill? Making a difference. Nice. North Hudson Rent. Okay. Jonathan, what's going on? Jeff, making a difference. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, 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 it's Fat Albert, and I'm gonna sing a song for you, and Bill's gonna tell you a thing or two. User, Marbles, Walter, good evening, good evening, good evening. John, K-Van, what's going on? Tech Sophic. Tech Shop LLC. Okay. Wiser with Age, you got that right. Mohammed Hassan, how are you today? Edwin, David, all right. Nako Do, hello. All right, let's get started. You're right, K-Van, up, down, up, down, up, down. That's what they do. Let's go. All righty, let's get ready to rumble. All right, anyway, besides the point. Good evening, everyone. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk, here to entertain, sing, dance, all that kind of nice, neat, fun stuff. Anyway, what I'm doing here is I'm going to teach you how I consistently get a safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week using nothing but pre-qualified dividend stocks. Now, in my opinion, a pre-qualified dividend stock is a company that has been consistently profitable for at least 2 decades. That's 20 years. Now, we do check. Dove McKay, how are you doing today? We do check every single week to see how many new companies have been added. There's 16 companies that have been added from last week to this week. So this week there's 10,346. No, 56. Last week there was 10,340. This week there's 10,516. That's a lot of different companies. How do you choose which ones you like? Now, as we progress through the night, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. Okay, Toasty, I don't do Bitcoin. Okay, seriously, I don't. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea of cryptocurrency. I do not pretend that it's not going to be something big eventually. At this moment in time, it's still not widely accepted here in the US. There are a lot of people that do accept it and a lot of people that do use it. However, I cannot go to Starbucks and get a cup of coffee with cryptocurrency. Can't do it. Still need that old greenback or that credit card crap. But anyway, I do like the idea of it. The idea. What I really, really hate is having to wait 2 to 3 weeks to transfer money from one bank to another. Cryptocurrency is instantaneous. Zelle, Cash App, a lot of those are faster than the ACH payments, which is the regular transferring of funds with the banks. I tried to transfer funds from one bank to another bank, and it took 3 weeks. You understand, 3 weeks to transfer money from one account to another. Well, we got to make sure the money's safe. We got to make sure the money comes from a valid source. I said, Jesus Christ, why don't you say, fuck, just pay me in cash and I'll just do it that way. All right, GMA, Gemma, what's going on? Shoot, good evening, good evening. What's your take on NVIDIA? Oh my goodness. What weekly covered calls with 20 years of increasing dividends, making a difference? Absolutely. Jeremy, I want to pick on you for a little bit. Yep, same. It drives me crazy with the banks. Yeah, I don't blame you. So, Jeremy, I'm going to pick on you only because I say it every single night. Why people invest in money in companies that aren't profitable boggles my mind. You want my take on NVIDIA? Well, let's have it. Let's take a look at NVIDIA. Then I'm going to tell you everything else that we're going to be doing. So NVIDIA, I'm not going to put it up on the chart because that's not what I want you to see. I want you to see the actual numbers of NVIDIA. And for that, we need to go to Yahoo Finance. And Yahoo Finance, NVDA, Yahoo Finance will tell me a lot more information than any stock chart will. Okay? First and foremost, let's take a look at the dividends of NVIDIA. So NVIDIA at this moment in time is $181.77. Well, if you're buying NVIDIA and you think you're going to collect the dividends, well, bully for you, you're collecting a whopping 1 penny. That's it. You're paying $182 to collect 1 penny every 90 days. And look at the average for NVIDIA. Okay, 0.002. That's 2/1,000th. 2/1,000th of a penny. Like, what the hell? Then it goes there, then it goes there, then it goes to 0.003, then 0.004, and then it goes 0.004, and then it goes to 0.01. 4 cents, that's all you're collecting. But it actually gets worse. Let's go to statistics. Because statistics are going to give us the actual, like this, the actual factual numbers. Okay, so NVIDIA, $181. Okay. Revenue per share. Do you know what revenue per share means? It means how much money do they have coming in directly related to how many outstanding shares there are. So however many shares they have a whopping $6.06 per share coming in. That's it. That's how much money they have coming in. $6.06 per share. Gets a little worse. Hold on a second. Book value per share, $3.44. $3.44. So you're paying $182 for a company that's only worth $3.44. If the powers that be, the Supreme Court says, hey, you need to divest and pay off all your investors. Well, guess what you're getting? If they have to liquidate and pay off all their investors and pay all their bills, guess what? That $182.25, you're actually getting $3.44. That's what you're getting. That's what the actual factual numbers are. When I always tell people never ever buy something unless you understand what it is, what it does, how it performs. You should know everything about a stock before you buy it. So my question to you, why the hell would you pay $182 for $3.44? It's a valid question. Let's look at it on the flip side. A company that's been around for over 100 years. Okay, give it a second. Look at this. Whoops, I don't want that. General Motors Corporation, the current price, $58.80. It's not as attractive as NVIDIA, is it? Or is it? Okay, let's go down here. Revenue per share. How much money do they have coming in as opposed to how many shares they have? Well, $182 per share revenue. That's how much money they have coming in on a consistent basis. I think that's a lot better than $6, don't you? The stock is 58. The revenue is 182 per share. And get this, the book value, $69. The book value is higher than the stock price. So if you buy the stock at $58.80 and the big court in the land says you need to divest and pay off all your investors, well, guess what? You're getting more money than you paid. Not so with NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA is a flash in the pan. Yeah, they got something cool. They got something hot. They got the next shiny object. But they ain't 100 years old. They don't have the revenue that General Motors has. They don't have the valuation that General Motors has. So why the hell are you buying NVIDIA and not buying General Motors? Why? Because NVIDIA is in the news every single day. NVIDIA this, NVIDIA that, blah, blah, blah. It's got one freaking penny. Why the hell? $182 a share to collect 1 penny in profits? Yeah, no, thank you. Hell no. Anyway, let's get out of that one. So, that's what I think of NVIDIA, Mr. Jeremy. So as I continue, let me at least introduce myself. My name is James. This is Dividend Stock Talk. I have been doing this for a while. I got 1,100 videos on YouTube. I'm going to guarantee you one thing in this evening. Number one, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm not going to ask you, but hey, is it okay if I sell you what I have? Maybe send me a mail. No, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to show you facts. I'm going to show you figures. I'm going to take you look at numbers. I'm going to look at stuff that is factual. Not my opinion, factual information. Aliwar, how are you today? What is a roach? I'm not even going to pay attention to you. All right, what do we have here? Ooh, got some questions here. Hello, what class is this? This is investing for weekly cash flow using dividend stocks. Wow, thank you, Tyler. Okay, please, I'm your biggest fan. Thank you, Tyler. All righty, Tyler, thank you. Boy, if you don't get your, all right, whatever. All right, whatever. Okay, fine. Anyway, that being said, we're going to take a look at, you, the audience, are going to suggest stocks for me to take a look at. Now, it is going to be a little bit cumbersome at first. Now, we do have plans for hiring a producer who's actually going to be on the other side of the screen and giving me the information. And don't take this wrong, a lot of you, to get rid of a lot of the trolls. Because there's a lot of people out here, they're lonely, they're sad, and they think they need to be heard by spewing a lot of crap. Okay? And I really don't want to deal with it. I mean, think about it. What does the size of my shirt matter? What does the amount of money I have in my account matter? What does the brand name of my sunglasses actually matter? What does that crap matter? It doesn't. We're not here for that trivial stuff. We're here to learn something. Investing for a safe, simple, predictable, consistent 1% per week. Now, the strategy I'm going to show you was created in 2008 when my 9-year-old daughter says, Daddy, what are you doing? 9 years old. Daddy, what are you doing? Can you teach me? Not Daddy, oh, there's a new song out. I want you to get the album. Or Daddy, can we go get a new dress? Or Daddy, can we go get some ballet shoes? Daddy, can we buy a puppy? Daddy, can we get a rabbit? Daddy, this, that. No, Daddy, can you teach me? Who the hell says that at 9 years old? She wanted to learn. Okay, 9 years old. She's my only little girl. So yeah, I wanted to teach her what she wanted to learn, spend some time together, 9 years old, daddy-daughter type scenario. Good, great, wonderful. My boys had no interest in money. They didn't. That's my own fault. When you come to when you're an adult and you start making money and you start making more money than your parents did, then you start giving your kids everything they want. Well, they didn't want for anything. They got everything they wanted. So at 9 years old, Daddy, can you teach me? Now I have to come up with a strategy specifically for my 9-year-old daughter. It had to be simple. It had to be safe. It had to be predictable, consistent, and no way for her to lose. Okay, so along with all that, I had to come up with some rules. The rules are very simple. Rule number one, Now, we're going to amend on this. I'm going to add to it in a little bit. But just for the argument's sake, for my 9-year-old daughter, rule number 1 was if it's not on the list, don't even bother looking at it. Okay, we know that there's 10,359 stocks available to invest in. Okay, we know that. So for my daughter, if it's not on the list, don't even bother with it. Now we're going to get to the list in a minute, but let me finish going over the rules. Rule number 2, never sell at a loss. It defeats the purpose of the whole game. Rule number 3, this one boggles my mind because never invest in a company that's not consistently profitable. Why don't buy purpose? I have no idea what the hell that means. Okay, I'm going to pause you guys right there. We're going to take a look at that one. So rule number 3, make sure the company is consistently profitable. For me, I like 2 decades of profitability. Now, if you're not informed of what a decade is, that's 10 years. So 2 decades is 20 years of profitability. So a little while ago, somebody wanted me to take a look at NVIDIA. I really don't think they're 20 years old. I know they're not profitable. I know the numbers are horrible. So me personally, I wouldn't buy NVIDIA because it just doesn't fit. Okay? I don't buy into that shiny object. Squirrel! No. I don't take my mind off my goal, the next hot thing. I don't listen to the talking heads on TV saying, oh, this company's going to do all this company's going to do that, this company's wonderful, look out for this one, it's going to be good. No, I don't do that. I look at historical performance because guess what? Numbers don't lie. Numbers are what they are. 1 + 1 is going to equal 2 no matter where you come from. So if a company is consistently profitable year after year after year after year, making more money. No, I'm not money hungry, don't get me wrong. I just want to make sure I invest in a company that has leaders that actually are good at what they do. Because the main reason for being in a business or to open a business is to be profitable, share a product, an idea, a service with the masses. I mean, that's what we're here for. We want to take the money that we earn, put it someplace that we think it is safe, that we think it will grow safely, and then when we're ready for it, we can retire comfortably. Well, the powers that be ain't doing such a great job because when I got to a certain point, I said, hey, what can you do for me? This is what I have. This is what I can offer. And they said, well, great. Well, yep, this is what we can give you with all that money. So I'm going to hand over all my money to a money manager or a fund manager. And most of them say, great, we can make sure you get a 4 to 6% draw on your money for however long it lasts. And I'm thinking to myself, because I can do math in my head pretty easily. 6%, 4% of what I have available, I'll still be working for the rest of my life just to break even. Yeah, no thanks. So that strategy I taught my daughter, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, 1% per week, I could live comfortably on 1% a week of what I have. Because there's a difference between 1% per week of what I'm doing and 4 to 6% a year for what the mainstream is offering. And think about it, 1% a week is 50% per year. So if you got 10 grand, 50% is 5,000. 4% of 10 grand, what is that, 40 bucks? That's a huge difference. Anyway, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose. The 5 rules. Rule number 1, never buy something that's not on the list. Let's amend it. Never buy something you don't want to hold on to for the rest of your life, that you don't understand, that you don't want to, tell all your friends. Yeah, if you can't explain who they are, what they do, what their yearly average is, what their dividend is, when and if they have options, if you don't know all that, you shouldn't be buying it. You shouldn't be taking your hard-earned money and putting into something you don't understand. It just doesn't make sense. I'm terribly sorry. I grew up in the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Okay, I don't believe in that safe space, proper language, politically correct. No. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's most likely a duck. Okay, common sense it's not taught anymore. They should change the name. Uncommon sense. You know, up, down, left, right, hot, cold, light, dark, you know, all those kind of things. So out of all the things you're going to hear tonight, there's only 2 or 3 things I really want you to take away from it. And the number one is, does it make sense? Let's keep on going with the rules. Rule number 4, weekly options only. There's over 10,356 different companies. Not all of them have weekly options available on them. Not all of them are consistently profitable. Not all of them actually pay out cash to the investors. It can be broken down into 2 groups. Out of all those 10,000 different companies, half of them pay a dividend. Half of them share their profits. Half of them reward you and I for investing with them. The other half, they're for capital growth. And there is a huge difference in capital growth and cash producing. Okay? Cash producing, capital growth. Cash producing, I get paid every single week. Capital growth, you stick your money there and you just watch it. It's kind of like a dust collector. You watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it. 5 years go by, 10 years go by, you watch it. Sorry, that doesn't work for me. I'm 61 years old. It means my money's got to work for me. It means I have to pay my bills with something. And where is it coming from? It's not coming from Social Security. I ain't old enough to collect it. Okay? So every single position, every single stock that I have my little fingers on gives me a weekly cash flow, large, small, whatever it is. I don't care how small it is. If it's a dime per share, a nickel per share, yeah, I want something coming in on a weekly basis. Okay, it just so happens my goal is 1%. Let me give you an example. If I have $50,000, 1% a week on $50,000 is $500 a week. If I have $20,000, 1% a week is $200 a week. If I have $100,000, 1% a week is $1,000 a week. If I have $1 million, 1% a week is $10,000 a week. It's all a numbers game. So when you say, hey, I made $15,000 this week, that doesn't mean anything to me because you're missing a lot of pieces of the equation. What did you start out with? What was your risk? What's the end result? Because if you made $15,000 on $3 billion, I'm not impressed at all. If you made $15,000 off of 50 grand, well, then maybe I want to hear about it. Is it duplicatable? Is it simple? Is it safe? Now, remember, what you're going to see tonight was created and formulated for a 9-year-old little girl. As a matter of fact, we haven't done it in a while, so let's introduce you to my 9-year-old daughter. She's not 9 anymore. She's 26. Right there. Okay, it's going to take me a minute to get there. We're going to go through all the websites just to find it. Right there. And I really got to clean up my website. It's horrible. It needs help. I want to go to the YouTube channel. There you go. Now, on my YouTube channel, I'm not broadcasting. Oh, we got to broadcast. Hold on. I got to hit the broadcast button. Come on. Here it is. Cancel that. Start streaming. And display. And there we go. And there we go. And there we go. And there we go. And we should be good to go. All right. That should be streaming very shortly. All right. Videos. Oldest video. And there's the princess right there. Let's bring her in. This is JC.
Hi, I'm JC, and as you being part of my internet like that company, which my dad doesn't let me call it that, but I do. Being part of that, you're going to be getting weekly lists of stocks that I'll be trading, and every month you'll be getting 4 lists of stocks that you can.
There's over 20
Hey, there's me. 15 years ago. Had a lot more here, less gray.
That means every single day you can buy a different stock. Every single day there's a different company paying out dividends. Yay!
That's my favorite part. Yay! Because here's the thing. How do you keep a 9-year-old entertained? How do you keep them on track? how do you get them to create new habits? The new habit I wanted her to create was get up in the morning, do your chores, take your shower, brush your hair, brush your teeth, get online and see what your money is doing. Because if you have kids, well, you make sure they're fed, you make sure they're watered, you make sure they have a roof over their head. You got pets, you make sure they're fed, you make sure they're watered, you make sure they get clean food. If you have plants, a flower garden or a vegetable garden, you make sure there's no weeds, there are plenty food, plenty water, all that kind of stuff. You tend to take care of things that are important to you. So why not tend to your money on a daily basis? Because a lot of people don't want to admit it, but money does make the world go round. And it's a horrible thing to say because it really shouldn't. Really what should happen is, you contribute to society and society takes care of you. That's what should happen in a beautiful, wonderful world. Yay. That ain't gonna happen. Anyway, we are the only species on this planet that's got to pay to live here. We do. So however you want to live is going to be directly related to the amount of money you have available to live that way. It's just the way it is. Now, I'm here in Florida. Now, a lot of you people watching at the moment, you have the luxury of being, here in the US. But what you have a tendency to neglect or to not think of, if you make $34,000 a year or more, you are already richer than more than 50% of the population of this planet at $34,000 a year. You're richer than half the people on this planet at $34,000 a year. That's crazy. Anyway, I didn't do Rule 5. Rule 5. Remember, Rule 4 was weekly options only. Rule 5 is make sure all the numbers work. Now, what I mean by make sure all the numbers work, we're actually going to do a few trades so you can see how simple and easy it is and why, hopefully you can see why I created for my 9-year-old. Because she's only 9, so it had to be simple. It had to be safe. Here's the thing about safety. The trading strategy I'm about to show you is so safe that you can do it in your IRA. Because some trades you can't do in your IRA. This one you can. Okay? And the beauty of this one is the stock doesn't have to do anything. Because the simplest trading strategy is just buying the stock. That's the simplest. Hey, buy me that stock. That's simple. But there's no profit in it until the stock does something. Not so with what I'm going to show you. Because what I'm going to show you is called a covered call. And a covered call, you know exactly what your profit's going to be before you do anything. And guess what? The stock doesn't even have to move at all, and you still make your profit. It's mind-boggling. As I show it to you, you'll say, holy cow. And that one question that I want you to take away from this, does it make sense? That's the one question I want you to think about. Does it make sense? It either does or it doesn't. All right. So that being said, let's get rolling. So remember what I said for my daughter, Rule 1, if it's not on the list, it's a no? No. Automatically, no. If it's not on the list, no. Well, there's 10,356 different companies. Well, my list is not 10,000 stocks long. It's only about 250, 300 companies. So here we go. Are you ready? Here comes the list. Or this is how you can get the list. Are you ready? All right. Number 1, Dividend Kings List 2025. Whatever search engine you use, whether it's Google, whether it's Bing, whether it's YouTube, whether it's whatever, Alta Vista, remember that one? Ask Jeeves. Whatever it is, Dividend Kings List 2025. Do a quick little search and boom, it just shows right up. List number 2 would be the Dividend Aristocrats. 25 years of increased profits. Dividend Champions, 25 years of increased profits. A little different rules between the Aristocrats and the Champions, but still, quarter of a century of profits. What's wrong with that? List number 4, Dividend Contenders List. Now, this list has about 300 companies that have increased their profits from 10 years to 24 years. Not quite the 25-year level, but 24 years. Now, for the fun of it, list number 5, we're going to throw in Warren Buffett's list. And, oh, by the way, I saw a post the other day that Warren Buffett picked up another 6 different companies. Now, to be honest with you, I don't know what they are yet. I haven't looked. I need to update my Warren Buffett list because he added more stocks to his I want to say list, but I wanted something more catchy, like no, I was going to say Corral, Paddock, Roster. Anyway, he added some more companies that I want to add to my list also. So that's the list right there. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders, Warren Buffett's list. Those 5 lists right there will give you about 300 companies that have been consistently profitable for more than 2 decades. Okay? So we're going to start looking at some stocks. You guys are going to give me some suggestions, and we will just take a gander at them and see how they look with the strategy that I created for my 9-year-old. It's either going to be a yes or it's a no. Okay, it's either yes or no. And if it is a yes, we're actually going to go walk through a few trades so you see how it is done. Now, I'm not going to hide anything. You ask a question, I'll give you an honest answer. I will walk you through from the beginning, which is picking the stocks, which you already learned, Dividend Kings, Aristocrats, blah, blah, blah. So that's number 1. Step number 2 is take that list and throw that list into an EX dividend calendar. This one right here, September 2025, these little green dots are all the different companies that are paying a dividend this coming month of September. There's quite a bit of them. 72. There's got to be at least 30 here, 30 here, 56 here, 35 here. It's got to be at least 28 there, another 28, 30. What is this, 15? What is this, 18? 87, probably another 18, another 9, another 4, another 12 maybe, another 10, another 6, 1, blah, 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 41. It's a whole bunch of different companies all paying a dividend, which means if the company is profitable at the end of every quarter, they do what is called a quarterly report, earnings report. You heard, hey, the earnings report's coming up. That means they're telling you how much money they made and how much money you're going to get. So there's 4 dates to remember when you're dealing with a dividend stock. 4 dates. Date number 1, the announcement date. Hey, my name's James. This is Dividend Stock Talk. This is how much money we made. This is how much you're going to get. And this is when you're going to get it. It's the announcement date. How much money we made, how much you are going to get as an investor, and when you can expect to get it. That's the announcement date. Date number 1. Date number 2, the EX dividend date. This is the important one for anybody who wants to collect a dividend. Dividend is a portion of the profits. If the company's profitable, the dividends will increase. If the company's more profitable this year than it was last year, the dividend will be higher this year than it was last year. It's just simple. More profits, higher dividends. Higher dividends, more profits. They go hand in hand. Date number 2, the EX dividend date. If you want to collect the dividend, you need to buy the stock before the EX date. What are we looking at? APD. Oh, Cardinal Health right there on the 1st of September. Cardinal Health. If I want to collect the dividend for Cardinal Health, I need to buy it before the 1st. The 30th, the 29th, the 24th, 18th, 2nd, but whatever. Because the EX date is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid out. So you want the dividend, you got to buy it before that date. Date number 3, date of record. Whoever owns the stock on the date of record is entitled to the dividend, plain and simple. You don't own it on that date, you don't get the dividend, plain and simple. Date number 4, payment date, when you get your money. Simple. Okay, so step 1, come up with a list. Step 2, throw it into the calendar. Why are we throwing it into the calendar? Remember I told my daughter if it's not on the list, it's an automatic no? Well, here you go. However much money you have, well, you cannot buy every single one of these companies on this list for the month of September. No, what are you going to buy? 2, 3, 5, 10, maybe? So I got a list of stocks. First week of September, we got 72 here, we got all these here, and 56 here, all of these. These are the only stocks I want to look at in the first week of September, because those are the ones paying a dividend. So why do I want to look at them? Because a dividend stock is tendency to go up in value just before the dividend date. If the dividend date is here, okay, I want to buy it before this date because the stock price will go up. So knowing when the stock price usually goes up, it gives you a good idea of when to buy it, just to make sure you are being profitable because you're picking it at the right time. So just before the EX date, I like to buy the stock because the stock has a tendency to go up. Step number 3, after we look at the week, which companies we have, we want to take a look at the charts, because the charts are going to tell us where do we think the stock is going next. That is important. Hold that thought. I got to apologize. I'm not used to talking so much, so the tea with honey helps my throat. All right, let's go to trade. Let's go here. Okay. Now, let's start looking at some stocks. All right, where are we? All the way back to the beginning, because I missed a whole bunch of questions. Sorry about that. All right. Said hi to all these people. Hey. All right, K-Van, what's going on? Let's go. Weekly covered calls for 20 years dividends. Yep. NVIDIA, I already picked on Jeremy with his NVIDIA pick. Now, the only reason I picked on you, Jeremy, because NVIDIA is not a profitable company. It's not a, I got a thing. Emma, yay, thank you, Emma. It's not a profitable company. It's not a dividend producer. It is a dividend company, but it's really not. Why would you pay $182 to collect 1 penny? It just doesn't make sense. Thank you, Emma. So it doesn't make sense. All right, so Sir Richardson wants to take a look at IAU. Okay, I'm just going to say, what the hell is that, IAU? I have no idea what that is. IAU. iShares Gold ETF. Really? All right. Well, let's take a look at the iShares ETF and see how consistently have they increased their dividends. What was it again? IAU. IAU. All right. Now, I've never invested in it because I'm not 100% sure it even fits what it is I'm looking for. All right, we'll look at historical data. Historical data. Come on. It's kind of weird because I got a brand new modem and a brand new router, so things should move a lot faster. Okay, so here we are at historical pricing or historical performance. Here's the dates. Here's the open, the high, the low, the close, the adjusted, and the volume. It gives you every piece of information you want to know about any stock or any mutual fund or anything. And it has every single one since the beginning of this ETF. But that's not what I want to see. What I want to see is this right here, the dividends only, because I got 2 choices. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm a lazy trader. I really am. I have no desire whatsoever to take a look at 20 years of quarterly reports or annual reports to see, is this company profitable? Let's take the shortcut. The shortcut is you take a look at the dividend. Because if the dividend has increased, well, you ready for this? Logic, reason, Common sense says if the dividend increases, so does the profits. Because you can't increase the profits without increasing the dividend. You can't increase the dividend without increasing the they go hand in hand. More money they make, the higher the dividend goes up. But guess what? No dividends. So why the hell are we even looking at this? Okay, the name of the show is Dividend Investing for Weekly Cash Flow. Did you miss the part about dividend? Because the very first word is dividend, and there are no dividends in this little whatever the hell you want to call it. So it's going to be an automatic no. Horse Lady, good evening. Look at SOXL. I know that's going to be a no also. SOXL. Give it a minute. It's going to pop up. Here we go. Direxion Daily Semiconductors Bull 3X shares. Let's take a look at all the dividends that they have. And here we go. Now, number one, this thing only goes back to 2010. Well, that's not 10 years. Wait a minute, 2010. No, it's not 10 years. Because see, 2010, there's no 2011, no 12, no 13, but it goes 14, 16, 17. There's no 15. Okay, but look at this. 0.0001, 0.000008. Then it goes to 18. Then it goes 0.00. And then look at this. 2, and then 1.8, 1.6, 1.2, 2, 1.9, 0.005. Can you honestly tell me that those are going higher and higher and higher? No, they're not. So why the hell would I put my money in something that's not consistently profitable? See what I told you at the beginning of the show? Rule number 3 always boggles my mind why people would put money into something that's not consistently profitable. 2020, a half a cent. 2021, 1.6 cents, 1.4, 0.007. That's going backwards. Okay, 1.9, 4 cents, 0.38, 0.25, 0.3. Yeah, no, double hell no. When I always say check to make sure the company is consistently profitable, well, apparently you didn't check the quarterly reports or the annual reports, or is this company profitable consistently or not? Well, the numbers right here say no, it's not. So no to SOXL. Turby, sorry. Mystery coin 7000X. Get it before pump. I don't do coins at all. Sorry, brother. IUA, we already looked at that one. IAU, I looked at IBM. Ooh, Blaze, I like IBM. I actually have some IBM. So let's go back to here. And we'll put IBM in here. IBM. Now, I'm looking for a few things. Now, anytime I look at a stock, I want to look at the 1-year chart first. When I look at the 1-year chart, I'm looking for 5 things. Now, it takes me 3 to 4 seconds to find 5 items. It's like, where's Waldo? Ready? Here, where's Waldo? 5 things. Ready? High. Low. Where was it? Where is it? What is the motion, the ocean, the path through the woods, the rivers run, whatever you want to call it, what is it doing? Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. 3 to 4 seconds. That's all the time it should take, because it doesn't take long. High, low, was, is, direction. Not difficult at all. Remember, it was created for a 9-year-old. Adults, new people, have a tendency to make it more complicated than it needs to be. Simple. It's not at a high. It's not at a low. It's not dropping like a rock. It takes 2 to 3 seconds to find that. Next, I want to go to the numbers. Remember, rule 5, make sure the numbers work. What's the big number on the board? It's obvious. Let me show you where you find it. You ready? 242.63, 242.63, 242.63, 242.63. What do you think? The big number on the board? 242.63. Now, if I buy it tomorrow at 242.63, what is the closest strike price? Now, for those you new may not know what a strike price is, but let's take a wild guess. I'm going to point out something and you tell me if it makes sense. Now, for those you don't know, this screen here is live on YouTube. Okay, the10minutetrader.com. Any video you ever heard me say, hey, this is James from Dividend Stock Talk, brought to you by the 10-Minute Trader. Okay, my daughter was the 10-Minute Trader. So, that being said, the screen is live on YouTube. Now, I just bought this screen a couple of weeks ago, and to be honest with you, I have no idea how it works other than just this little magic wand. So, hypothetically speaking, I'm supposed to be able to click like this and make it bigger. Now, how you see it in the movies where they just got their hand and go like this, and they make this all bigger? Yeah, I don't know how to do that. But it's a learning process. Okay, so I paid a chunk of money for that thing, and now I want to learn how to use it. Other than this thingy, which this is cool because I can point out things. This thing right here, this one right here, this one right here. It makes it easier for me to point out things, but I'd still like to be able to expand it, contract it, make it easier. But let's keep on progressing. So as I was saying, the motion of the ocean. Here we go. So the closest number to that. Now, strike price. When I say strike price, the closest number, I'm going to do what's called a covered call, buy right, whatever you want to call it. There are literally hundreds of videos online explaining what a covered call is, what the risks involved are, and how you can use it. Okay? Simply put, I'm going to buy a stock at this price. I'm going to sell to someone else for almost the exact same price, which is called the strike price. So 242.63, the closest one, 242.63, is going to be the 242.50. That's the closest one. You can ask any child, anywhere between the age of 5 to 12 or 13, which one of these numbers is closest to this number. That's the 242.50 right there. Now, the 242.50 is only going for this week $1.45. Well, that's a no for me, but here's the thing. Today's Tuesday, which means tomorrow is Wednesday. So there's only 3 days left in this week. So let me share a few little tidbits of information that might be helpful. Number one, I don't buy options, I sell them. The reason why I sell them and not buy them, because 80% of all options expire worthless. So why would I want to buy an option if 80% of them are going to be worthless? I prefer to sell them, because if I sell you something, let's say I sell it to you for $1.45, and at the end of the week it's worth $0. Well, then I get to buy it back for $0, which means I bought it for $0 and I sold it for $1.45. Because in the stock market, you can do things backwards. But the equation always has to fulfill itself. What do I mean? Well, you buy something, you sell something, you make a profit or a loss. Well, in the stock market, you can sell something, buy it back, and then you get a profit or a loss. The equation always gets filled: buy, sell, profit, loss. Sell, buy, profit, loss. Either way, you're still buying something and selling something. You just get the privilege to do it backwards. So yeah, I'm going to sell something, and hopefully by Friday, it's going to be worth less than I paid for it, so I can buy it back at a cheaper price. Anyway, as I was saying, it's Wednesday, which means there's only 3 days left for this week. So very rarely will you get a full 1% for just 3 days. So we're going to take a look at next week's also. Okay, so next week. Now, remember when I said safe, simple, safe, predictable, consistent, no way to lose? Well, simple, safe, we got that part. Covered calls, one of the simplest and safest trading strategies there is. When I say predictable and consistent, here's where the consistent part comes in. 29 August, that expiration date is this Friday. 5 September, that's next Friday. 12 September, that's 2 Fridays away. 19 September, 3 Fridays away. 26 September, 4 Fridays. 3 October, 5 Fridays away. Every single week 52 times a year, I can write a covered call on this particular stock. I like to consider it as a cash producing asset. Hold on. A weekly cash producing asset. Think of it like a bubblegum machine or a vending machine. Okay, you put a quarter in, turn around, get your gumball, great. At the end of the week, you take all the quarters out. That's your profit. Well, that machine costs something. Well, so doesn't a covered call. And we're going to use that example in a minute, and we're going to take a look and come up with that big, huge question. Does it make sense? Let's keep on going. So currently, here's the price here. Here's the closest strike price there. And this one here for next week is paying $3.40 a share. That is over 1.5%. So how do I figure out the percentage so quickly? Well, it's very simple. And it's so simple you might feel a little foolish when I tell you it. You ready? The current stock price is $242.63. So what is 1% of 200 and what is it? 42. What is 1% of 242? 242. 242. 1% is 242. You're just moving the decimal point over. Okay? 242, 242, $2.42 is 1%. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for 1%, $2.42. Well, it's offering me $3.40. That's over 1.5%. That works for me. So that works for me. Let's give it a try. But before we do, we looked at the chart. Okay. We looked at the numbers. Okay. Now let's take a deeper look into the chart, because 1 year is not going to give me satisfaction. Say, oh, great, I'm going to buy it. No, I want to take a look at the momentum. What are you and me doing? We are the investors. We buy, we sell. What happens? Okay. A year ago, IBM was at the bottom of the year, 195.90. Let's call it 196. Okay. From there, the high of the year, 625. That was 296.44. That's the high of the year. Okay? High, low, where was it? Where is it? Up, down, down, up. Do I need to do that again? Up, down, up. Simple, right? Why complicate it? Why take a look at each one of these little tiny little things? No. Up, down, up. That's the overall momentum of the current position. So it is in a upward trend at the moment. Great, it's in an upward trend. I know when the dividend is, so usually just before the dividend stock goes up, it's in an upward trend now. Hey, that's two things in my favor. Third thing in my favor is a simple, safe, predictable strategy. I know what my profit's going to be before I do it. And the stock doesn't have to move at all. We're going to go into that in a second. But let's look at the last 30 days. Okay, here's the last 30 days. This makes it more prominent, makes it like shouting, hey, look at me, I'm going up. Kind of like what it is, right? High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Up, down, up. That's where it's going. That's the last 30 days. This tells me right here, it's in an upward trend. 232 here, 242, that's $10. That's not even 5% move. That's not even 5%. But from here to 65 to 230, that's $30 drop. $30 drop on a 260, that's 13% maybe, 13% drop, 5% increase. It's got a long way to go to get to the high, because the high's right here. Okay, and we're right here. We got a long way to go, all that room to play with. Does it make sense? Let's find that out. So right now, 242, let's get rid of this. Okay, now I'm going to change this to over here. Now, these are all the trading strategies. Look at them all. All these trading strategies. I'm only going to teach you one. It's the same one I taught my 9-year-old daughter. It's simple, it's safe, it's predictable, it's consistent. If you do it right, there's no way you can lose. The big word, 2 letters, if. If you do it right, no way you can lose. So let's call a covered call, covered stock, buy right, a lot of different words for it, but you're buying the stock, selling the option, blah, blah, blah. I don't want to do this week's. I want to do next week's. And we said the 242.50. There it is right there. Okay, one thing I like about Think or Swim, it sets everything up for me. I hit a button, it's all right there. Now I got to decide how many do I want to buy. Okay, 1,000? No, let's just buy one. One gives you a good idea of what the numbers look like. Drag the puzzle piece to prove that I'm human. There we go. So let's do it. Let's do just one. That way you can take a look at what one looks like and you can say, hey, I think I can do 5. I think I can do 17. I think I can do 2. Okay, the numbers I'm going to give you is for one contract. You want to do one contract? Great. This is what your rate of return is going to be. Let's look. Okay. Now, anytime I teach anyone anything, I always say, read it out loud. Make sure you're hearing and seeing and entering the same thing. A lot of times people will read something back to me and I say, wait a second, read that again slower and see if it makes sense of what you think you're doing. Because most people lose money by hitting the wrong button. So hitting the wrong button, you could be buying instead of selling, selling instead of buying. Anyway, you could pick the wrong day. Anyway, here we go. Buy one covered call IBM 100. That's the weeklies. 5 September 25. That's not this Friday. That's next Friday. The 242.50 call option against the IBM stock at the market to open. To open, I did not repeat myself. I did not stutter. To open. To open means there's 2 orders in one. Because I'm buying the stock, that's getting sent off to New York. I'm selling the option, that's getting sent off to Chicago. 2 orders. The nice thing about it is once you buy the stock, you own it. You can do whatever you want with it. And you never lose money until you agree consciously to sell it for less than you paid for it. So if I'm buying it for this price here, 242.63, and I'm selling it for 242.50, well, I'm losing 13 cents. But am I? Because look at what I'm walking away with on this particular trade. $344 per contract. So yeah, I'm buying it at 242.63, selling it for 242.50, and I plan on holding this for the rest of my life or until it hits my target. The funny thing is, my target is less than what I paid for it. So if the stock goes up, I'm good. Stock stays the same, I'm good. The stock can even come down a little bit, and I'm still good. That's the beauty of a covered call. Simple, safe, predictable, consistent. Okay, let's look at the numbers. Now, to find out the rate of return, you take the profit, okay, max profit, 344, and you divide it by the cost of the trade, including commissions and fees, 23,000. Just gonna move this thing out of the way before I trip over it. All right, so let's get the calculator. Calculators, clear that. First thing I want to do is take the profit, $344. And I'm going to divide that by the investment that I am making. The investment that I'm making is $23,906. Now, you may think you're spending this money and you're wasting it. No, you're not. You're making an investment in your future. You're buying a share of IBM, which means you are part owner in that company. That's why rule number 1 is never buy something you don't want to own for the rest of your life. It's just an investment. The ideal thing that might happen is we collect the $344. Come Friday, it hits my target. I get all my money back, and I still get to keep that. Think about it. I'm buying it for $23,000. I'm picking up $344 for 1 week, and at the end of that week, someone buys it from me for just about the same price I paid for it, and I get to walk away with $344 per contract. 1 contract, $344. 10 contracts, $3,440. 100 contracts, well, you know how it works. All right, so what is my rate of return for 1.5 weeks? 1.4%. My goal is 1%. 1% a week is 50% per year, and I'm pretty much okay with that. Okay, so the question is, do I like IBM? Do I like IBM at this current price? So what's going to happen? Well, if the stock stays exactly where it is and doesn't move at all, I get that $344 first thing tomorrow morning. And next Friday, when the option expires, if the stock is above 242.50, I will get all my money back and walk away with that 344. Well, that's the beauty of it. Okay, number one, I like IBM. I don't mind holding it. What if the stock drops? Well, it's a 50-50 shot. The stocks go up, stocks go down. They don't do anything else. They don't come to your house to take the dog for a walk. They don't come to your house and make you dinner. They don't make the bed. They don't take the trash out. They go up, they go down. That's it. That's all. Make sure anytime you think of investing any of your money to put it into something you're okay with owning. I'm okay with owning IBM, especially if it's giving me 1.4% for the week. Because 1.4% for the week is over 50% per year. And I'm okay with IBM. Next, let's do the next one. Next, let's get this one out of here, out of there, out of here, and back to there. There we go. All right, so that was IBM, 1.4%. Jake wants to take a look at Harley Davidson. Okay, Josh Eagle wants to take a look. Oh, wait a second. We got two here on YouTube, Kohl's and UNH. Because those yield funds decay over time, they are not things you want to hold long term. Thank you, Henny. I'm so lost when it comes to the stock market. Ryan, no, you're not. You just think you are. Now, Ryan, I'm assuming that you're over the age of 18, which means you have sat in a car, and as the car drove down the road, you've seen stores like Walmart, you've seen stores like Home Depot, you've seen stores like McDonald's, AT&T, IBM. You probably have an Apple phone or an Android phone. You know companies come, companies go. Now, as a child, I've seen Exxon, Gulf, Mobil. I've seen all those. I've seen Sears and Roebuck. I've seen Sears and Roebuck's crumble. I've seen a few companies crumble from growing up. It's not that difficult to find a good company, especially one nowadays. Moody Paws, what's happening? So take your time, make sure you pick something that makes sense. What is Sky think about Bitcoin? Yeah, no. Is this a membership? No, this is just free education is what is this. Wanagi, I'm listening, okay. It's a lecture. No, not really a lecture. Self-care. I'll keep my thoughts to myself this time. Thank you. Can I have your list? Okay, Josh already gave you the list. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, blah, blah, blah. Threshold moment. I'd like to know what he thinks about MicroStrategy and Bitcoin, digital security, digital scarcity, and overall blockchain technology, Bitcoin, XRP, blah, 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 blah. I already gave you my opinion on that. Number one, it is going to be the future. Keywords is going to be the future. At this moment in time, the mighty dollar is still the mighty dollar. They are trying to phase it out, but you're going to have a lot of people digging their heels in and saying, hell no. I'm going to be one of them. Funny thing about cash and Bitcoin and the current credit scenario, okay, you have a credit card and you have cash. Well, I could go to the grocery store, okay, give the person there $50 in cash. That person can take that $50 in cash and go pay his landscaper $50. Well, that landscaper take that $50 and pay the cable guy $50. The cable guy can take that $50 and go pay for his dentist. The dentist can take that $50 and pay his secretary. His secretary can take that $50 and go buy groceries. It's an endless loop. That $50 never loses its value from one person to the next, to the next, to the next. But you do that with a credit card. Yeah, I buy $50 at the credit card. The person at the store is not getting $50. He's getting $49.75. Well, you're saying it's not that much. But now he takes that $49.75 and he pays someone else. Now he's got to dig in his pocket to take out the rest to give that person the rest of the money. So as it goes down the line, each person's got to pay 1%, 2%, 1%, 2%. By the time you get to the 5th, the 6th, the 7th, 8th, or the 20th person down the line, that $50 bill never loses its value. However, by the 5th, or 6th, or the 12th person, you're not getting that. $50 is probably down to 35 by now. So they're doing it on purpose to suck out the money that they can out of us. So if you just say, I'll pay cash, because cash is king. You can take that $50 and go anywhere and get $50 worth of value, and the person receiving it receives $50 in value. But if you use a credit card or whatever, the person is not getting that $50. They're getting less. So yeah, I try to stick to cash anytime I can. And no, I refuse to give up my cash. I'm one of those stubborn people. You tell me I got to do something, it's going to make me not want to do it the more. Okay, so that was IBM. We did IBM. What are we looking at next? Next, Jake wants to take a look at Harley Davidson. H-O-G. H-O-G. First thing I want to see. High, low. Where was it? Where is it? Down, up. I'm going to say no to Harley Davidson. The reason why I'm saying no to Harley Davidson, look at this right here. I'm going to zoom into it and show you a little closer. So when I say it takes you 3 to 4 seconds to take a look at a chart to see whether it's a yes or a no, well, 30 days ago, we're here. She drops, shoots up from 23 to 29. 23 to 29 is a $6 move. A $6 move on a $23 stock is 25%. This thing went from here, jumped up 25% to here. So what do you think? Profit taking, right? Jumps up 25%. Now it's going to come back down again. As much as I love Harley Davidson, they've been in business for over 100 years. I'm going to say not this week, 2 weeks from now. As a matter of fact, I'm going to write Harley Davidson in my notebook for 2 weeks from today. H-O-G. Okay, next on the list, UTG. GWA, what the heck is UTG? UTG. Okay, GWA. There are no options. That's big fat no. Remember I said weekly options only? No options, no thank you. No dividends, no thank you. I'm very strict on where I put my money. If I can't get weekly cash flow from it, I have no desire to look at this thing every single day to see if I can get some weekly cash flow from this. No, I don't want to do it. I want to spend 5 or 10 minutes in front of my computer, and then I want to go outside, have a little cocktail, maybe enjoy a little bit of peaceful music and watch the grass grow. Watch the squirrels climb up and down the trees. Watch the birds and the bird feeders. No desire to sit in front of my computer and make money. I don't need it anymore. It's not a driving force for me anymore. Driving force for me is peace and quiet. I've been working since 1973. That's over 5 decades of working, 50 years. I've worked 50 years. I am entitled to take some time off. Threshold. Most people can't read it. Okay, you've seen to know a bit. Thank you. Not really. Threshold moment. If that were the case, exports would be instantly profitable. Don't know what that means. Anti-social media. Okay, whatever. This is why crypto is so enticing to so many people, because summit coins are just a fraction of a penny. I'd love to get your advice, life general, blah, blah, blah. I know more about investing than anyone here. I love it when people say that. Exports are not profitable because the trade policies of the other countries. I think so, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'm not even going to bother with YouTube. I try to follow YouTube, but there's so many questions. So what that means is that other countries have been taking advantage of trade policies, and the United States has been at a disadvantage. Whether those policies are stable or not means nothing. Threshold, I'm going to agree with you, but don't get me started on politics. You really don't want to hear my opinion. Wow, you guys got a lot. Wow, there's a lot of questions here. Uh-oh. Joseph David, gold is always worth gold. You see that dollar or per troy ounce up, cry for your waning fiat. Okay, Joseph, I hate to be the bearer of bad news. I really do. In this case, no. Now, you like gold. Great. Now, back in the late 70s, early 80s, they had one of the gold rushes. Gold was at $250 an ounce. It went from 200 somewhere on 800s. Okay, the people who bought gold in the 80s at $300 an ounce had to wait count them, brother, 3 decades. That's 30 years just to break even. So also take a little bit further back in history, where the federal government says gold is now illegal to own. Look it up. It's history. It's a factual. Okay, don't worry about it. We will give you the current value for your gold. Turn in all your gold. This is what the federal government said. Turn in all your gold and we will give you $20 an ounce. That's what it was going for back then. Well, guess what? After all the citizens of the United States turned in all their gold, the government said, yeah, fine, you can buy gold, but you can buy some gold, but it's $35 an ounce now. They bought it from you at $20 an ounce. Now you can buy it back for $35. The federal government did that. So if you think for one moment the federal government doesn't have an ace up their sleeve, something to do with gold, you're sadly mistaken. Because yes, they can. Tomorrow saying, you know what? Turn in your gold. It's illegal to own gold. They did it before. What makes you think they can't do it again? So gold, in my humble opinion, it's a great storage of wealth. You cannot get weekly cash flow from a lump of gold. It sits on your desk. It collects dust. It's a paperweight. You pay $100 for it now, maybe 5, 10, 15 years, maybe it's worth 200. Who knows? But you can't take a bar of gold to the store and say, hey, I want a cup of coffee. Hey, give me a knife. I'll slice off you a little sliver of my gold. It doesn't work that way. Okay? And you can't get weekly cash flow from gold. Sorry, just doesn't work. All right. Anyway, UTG, no. No options, no thank you. Next. Ooh, hippie girl 64 wants to take a look at Verizon, VZ. Oh, interesting. I'm going to say no to Verizon really quick. I don't even have to look at it. The reason why I'm saying no to Verizon, right here. Okay? It takes you 3 to 4 seconds to look at a chart. 3 to 4. Okay? High, low, where was it? Where is it? What's the momentum? Up, down, up, down, up, down. Okay? It's in a downward trend right now. As a matter of fact, it looks like it'll be okay in 2 weeks. So I'll put Verizon down for 2 weeks. Okay. Oh, something just fell. Bearded Bull, how you doing today? Crystal College, good evening. Carl, good evening. Best weekly dividend stocks. Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, blah, blah, blah. Yearly Federal. Lululemon has not been around for 20 years. I know that. Jade, ASK. What the heck is ASK? ASK. All right, doesn't even show up. Jade, AAL. Unlucky Ambition. So true. Okay, Riley Max, what program are you using? Riley, this is not a program. This is a trading platform. So whether you trade on Robinhood, Webull, Fidelity, Interactive Brokers, this is Think or Swim. It is owned by Charles Schwab. Okay. Next, Kyle, good evening. Thank you for that. Jade, American Airlines. American Airlines. Interesting. Okay. High, low is, look at it, up, down, up. 13.15, 13.15, 13.15, 13.15. The 13s are going for 42. The 13.50s are going for 21. Either one of those is going to be a yes if you like American Airlines. Well, let's take a look. Glasses. A year ago, $10.40. It peaked the top of the year, the end of January at $19.12. Now, from there, you're going to see this a lot, okay? The low of the year, almost everything is in the first and second week of April. We all know what happened the first or second week of April. The man in the big chair says tariffs, 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 and people panic, 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 and everything drop, drop, drop to a new bottom in the first and second week of April. Almost every single stock that you will see tonight is going to have a low of the year right around April. They call it Trump derangement syndrome. Every time that idiot says something stupid, stocks drop like a rock because people panic. Why are people panicking? I have no idea. All right, anyway, so here's the bottom here, $8.50. Now it shoots up to $13.50. More than likely, it's going to be profit taking. That baby's going to come down. Let's look at the last 30 days, and then you tell me what you think. What do you think? Here's the last 30 days. 1160 drops down to 1050, shoots up to 1360. Now it's coming down. Now it's coming down. Now is not the time I want to jump in as much as I like it. Because right now, 1350, yeah, I'll make more than 1%, make 1.5%. But if the stock is dropping, why do I want to buy it if it's dropping? That makes no sense to me. All right, let's jump on. Oh, I see. Why isn't there anybody in here? What is this one? 1058. All right, whatever. Next, let's go over here. So what do we have over here? This feed is not mirrored. Uh-oh. Let me fix that. Hold on a second. He's right. It's not mirrored. I got to fix it. There we go. Fixed it. All right. So let's come all the way back here. What we have. Oh, my God. Somebody wants to take a look at that. You got to be kidding me. We got a lot of questions over here. Who do we have? NS Card Service, good evening. Jerry, good evening. Randy, I am Cam. Schlosy, good afternoon, Schlosy. Basim, Larry, the Fungi Guy, the Fungi Music. Gitpick, Eros, Ruben, good evening, Ruben. JR, good evening. What is your YouTube channel? My YouTube channel, I got two of them. One is the10MinuteTrader.com. The other one is James4078. If you come up to the, what do you call it? To the link in the bio, it'll take you right to it. Can we look at FLNG? What the hell is that? Never a good sign if I say, what the hell is that? FLNG. Well, FLNG is a big fat no. I don't do monthlies. Monthlies just don't pay. Sorry, Brandon. Brandon, think about it. Monthlies, there's 12 months in a year. If I get 1 to 2% on each trade, that's 12 to 24%. Right? It's simple math, 12 to 24%. If I get 1 to 2% each trade with a weekly, that's 50 to 100%. Think about that. Would it make sense for me to look at something that pays 12 to 24? Or would it make sense to look at something that pays 50 to 100? To me, it's just simple math. Simple math. 50 to 100 is a lot better than 12 to 24. Now, you might like 12 to 24. You might like FLNG. To me, I don't even want to bother with it because it doesn't fit. You could go to the store and look at the greatest suit in the world, greatest cowboy boots, greatest pair of loafers, whatever. If it don't fit, it just don't fit. So I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work for me. If you like them, more power to you. DJ, we already looked at IBM. Mercer, how you doing, Mercer? Mary Rain Blessing, good evening. Those stocks invest in crypto and become a millionaire. That's like the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Okay? You can't just invest in something and become a millionaire. Something has to happen in order for that to happen. And to be the bearer of bad news, there are literally millions upon millions of people that lost a shit ton of money to who's that guy? Sam Bankman-Fried. Okay, he said this is the greatest thing ever. Yeah, he stiffed a whole bunch of people with that cryptocurrency. There's so much cryptocurrency that starts out and then fizzles out. There's maybe 1, 2, 3 dozen that are actually halfway decent. So how do you know which ones to pick? how do you know which ones are widely accepted? At this moment in time, none of them are widely accepted. And then, how do you invest in crypto for a simple, safe, predictable, consistent 1% per week, or anything consistently predictable with cryptocurrency? There is no way to make money in cryptocurrency consistently, predictably, and safely. Okay, I'm 61 years old. I have no desire to throw the dice, none whatsoever. John, finally, you can read our TikTok comments. Okay, thank you, John. Florida hockey dude, what's going on? DJ, good evening. Okay. Junior, what's happening? Aaron, what's going on? Little Colt. Simmerly 6. Okay. McDonald's, Mickey D's. Let's take a look at Mickey D's. MCD. Yes, Mickey D's is on my list, but it's not on my list this week. Before I even bother wasting my time, look at this. Yeah, no, it goes from 285 to 315. That's $30. That's a 10% increase right there. A little bit more than 10%. Yeah, I have no desire to buy here and wait for it to go higher. Yeah, no. Sorry, not this week. Maybe 2 or 3 weeks from now. So let's put Mickey D's down for 2 weeks. And we'll take a look at it again in 2 weeks. Because Mickey D's is on my list. It's just, why would I want to buy now? Look, okay, here. You think just because I'm buying it, it's going to keep going up? Nope. You go from here to here, there's going to be profit taken. That stock's going to come back down. When it comes back down, then I will take a look at it. Not this week. Well, I'm already in it. Just want to see what James' thoughts are on Roku. Ooh, Roku? I'm pretty sure Roku has not been around for 20 years. R-O-K-U. And it's going to be a no. Okay, here's the reason why it's a no. Okay. Okay, 30 days ago, here we are. Shoots up, pulls back, and it goes from 80 to 96. Now, 80 to 96 is $16 move. A $16 move on an $80 stock is 20%. 20. Do I have to say it again? 20%. It went up 20% in 3 weeks. What do you think's going to happen? See, there's something to be said about profits. Okay, number one, it's not a profit until you take it. Number two, nobody ever went broke taking profits. Number three, if you don't take your profit, don't be surprised if it drops. Look at this right here. Here's the top here. Market maker dropped it down. If you don't take your profit, don't be surprised if the market maker takes it away from you. It ain't a profit until you take it. Gabriel wants to take a look at Enbridge, ENB. Gabriel, do you see this, Gabriel? September, October, January, April. Gabriel, I don't do monthlies. Monthlies just don't work. CS Biggs wants to take a look at Siri. Now, I do own some Siri, S-I-R-I. Okay, look at Siri. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at the motion. Down, up, down, up, down, up. So it's definitely an upward trend. 23.13, 23.13, 23.13, 23.13. The 23s are going for 59. The 23.50s are going for 35. Well, both of those look pretty good. Me, personally, I do the 23s because they're a little safer. And it gives me close to 2%. Well, I like Siri. All right, well, let's take a closer look at it. We ready? Here we go. A year ago was the high of the year, 33.42. That was last year. Bottomed out, oh, imagine that. Second week in April. Shoots up, pulls back, shoots up again. That's the last 90 days, the last 3 months. Okay? Drop, up, down, Up. What do you think? Up. It's going to up. Okay. Well, let's zoom in a little bit closer. A little closer right there. Okay. So here we are 30 days ago. Drop down, back up, back down, back up, back down. Now she's going up. I like 2 days to the upside. Here's the bottom, here's one, here's two, and here's the third one right there. That's where I want to jump in right there. If you like Siri, that's what it all comes down to. Rule one, never buy something you don't want to hold on to long term, or never buy something that's not on your list. If you don't like Siri, you shouldn't be looking at Siri. You should only be looking at the stocks you're okay with owning long term. Now, long term could mean whatever you think it means. For me, long term is 30 days. That's what long term to me means. So let's take a look at Siri at 23. One, there we go, and here we go. Here it is. By one, covered call Siri 100. That's the weeklies. 5 September, that's next Friday. The $23 call option against the stock at the open to open means it's 2 trades. 1 trade going to New York, the other trade going to Chicago. I'm buying the stock. I'm selling someone the rights to buy it from me for basically the exact same price I just paid for it. That makes no sense at all. Why am I buying it at $23.13 and selling it at $23? It's less than what I paid for it. Because what I'm walking away with. Okay, here's my investment. Here's what I'm walking away with. Let's get out the calculator and add it up. So I'm going to hold it until it hits my target. Well, my target is 23 and it's currently at 23.13. I'm still walking away with over 1%. I love the safety factor. Stock doesn't have to move at all. In fact, the stock can even come down a little bit and I'm still good. So let's take a look. Oh yeah, take a look at this. Break even stock price, $22.52. So as long as the stock is above $22.52 by next Friday, I'm in a profit. Anything over $22.52. It's $23.13 and it's in an upward trend. What? Does that make sense? It either makes sense or it doesn't. Okay, so let's check out the numbers. Calculator, $47.50 is the profit. Divided by the investment, $22.53, grand total of 2.1%. Imagine that, 2.1%. Now, we do know if 1% per week, I got to plug this in. There we go. If 1% a week is 50% per year, 2% a week has got to be over 100% a year. Imagine that, doubling your money every year. How often have you done that? Seriously, how often have you doubled your money safely, consistently, predictably every single year? Well, at 2% a week, that is over 100% a year. Bro, please suggest about Forex. I don't do Forex, dude. It's absolutely no. I don't do Bitcoin. It's his own website. Thank you. Bro, please suggest blah, blah, blah. Okay, 3 threshold. This is because a fundamental undisputed economic law known as Gresham's Law, and Bitcoin is at the top. Yeah, whatever. Black Swan event and the electric. Okay, I can't read them as fast as you guys are posting them. So, that YouTube thing, I really got to get a moderator there. All right. What else we want to take a look at? La Caladime. Good evening, La Caladime. Good evening to you. Blaze wants to take a look at Lorien. What the hell is that? I have no idea. Fongfan. What is that? SPMO. What the heck is SPMO? Back to the beginning. Here we go. So he said SPMO. What the heck is SPMO? SPMO. Oh, hell no. Okay, I don't do monthlies. See, the funny thing is, when I say you should know what you're investing in, why are you asking me to take a look at something that has a monthly option? If you don't know what it is you're thinking of putting your money in, why the hell are you putting your money in it if you don't know what it is? That makes no sense to me. Remember I said that earlier? Rule number 3, make sure the company's consistently profitable. Or rule number 1, always know where you're putting your money. If you didn't know SPMO doesn't have weekly options, why do you want me to look at it? It's going to be a no. But no precious metals dealer will ever give you back Bitcoin for your gold. Okay. What's your blood? What the hell is he asking what my blood sugar is? I'm not even in that conversation. All right, let's keep moving along. Move along. All right, over here. Iceman, Bulldog, what's going on? Demetria White, good evening. KG4, sure, you can if you are black. I have no idea what that means. I looked at McDonald's. It's Ben. Hello, hello, hello. DJ, we already looked at IBM. It was one of the first ones we looked at today. This feed is not mirrored. Okay. Uh-oh. Curbside J wants to take a look at SCHD. And I'm thinking to myself, this brother just doesn't know. SCHD. There it is right there. Now, I want to say no now. But before I say no now, let's go take a look at some factual reasons why I'm going to say no to SCHD. For that, we need Yahoo Finance. And Yahoo Finance, SCHD, is going to show us exactly how profitable SCHD has been over the last 2 decades. So here we go right here. Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF, SCHD, $27.75. Can we go all the way back to 2011, which means this thing's only 14 years old. Now, some of you might say, well, 14 years of profitability is okay. Maybe it is. All right, well, let's see. Now, hypothetically speaking, each one of these numbers should get higher and higher, right? So let's check it out. 4.0, 4.6, 6.8, 6.9, 8.6, 6.6. That's going backwards. 8.6 to 6.6 is going backwards by almost 25%. $2 or 20 cents on an 80-cent dividend. So 8.6 to 6.6, that's a 25% decrease. How can you possibly say that's good? Hold on, let's keep going. All right, 7.5, 7.7, 8.3, 8.2. That went backwards. Not a huge amount, but still. 8.9, 8.4 backwards. 9.1, 9.0 backwards. Okay, 10, 9.9 backwards. 9.0 backwards. 9.9, 10, 8. Okay, backwards, 13, 10, backwards, 11, 11.4, 11.5, 8, backwards, 13.5, 12.2, backwards. Do you see what's going on here? 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 4 steps forward, 2 steps back. Why the hell would I want to put my money into a company that's not consistently profitable? And that's only 2017. We got all the way to go to 2025. How often does it do it? How often does it go backwards? Okay, let's check it out. 13, 11, backwards. 14, 16, 15, backwards. 15, backwards. Oh, that's the same. 18, 20, 16, backwards. 18, 19, 20, 17, backwards. 17, 23, 21, backwards. 23, 19, backwards. 22, 21, backwards. 24, 20, backwards. What the hell are you thinking? Seriously, did you even check the numbers to see if this was profitable or not? What are you looking at? What are they offering today? Oh, that looks good. No, no, no. You need to take a good look at how consistently profitable. Just because they made money this year and last year, well, how did they do 5 years ago? Think about it. There's 56 companies. If this company's not consistently profitable, why are you putting your money there? It's a serious question. Next. Ooh, Ted wants to take a look at Pepsi. John, does my daughter day trade? No, my daughter never day traded. I don't day trade. I take a look Monday. I just want to do most of my buying. 90% of all my buying is on a Monday. I buy my shares, I sell my options. Tuesday, all my money is free, so I get to pay my bills. Friday, I like to be out. Now, I do look at my positions every single day. Well, it's kind of like a pet, like a dog or a fish or a cat. I want to make sure it's okay. Okay, so I want to look every morning. What am I looking for? Well, what did I buy it for? What did I sell? What's it at now? What does that mean? Should I do anything to protect myself? It only takes 5 to 10 minutes every single day. So Ted wants to take a look at Pepsi. Now, Pepsi is a dividend king, and Pepsi is a no. Okay? She's coming back at the moment. Okay? She found the bottom here. Okay? It found the bottom here at 128. It shot up to 154. Now we have profit taking. How much profit taking is there going to be before she turns around and goes back up again? I don't know. If you like Pepsi, watch it. Watch, see what happens tomorrow. Watch, see what happens the next day. At some point, you're going to get this right here. The bottom, 2 days up, and that's when you jump in. Bottom, 2 days up, then you jump in. Bottom, 2 days up, then you jump in. Bottom, 2 days up, then you jump in. Okay, so at this moment, Pepsi's a no. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Pepsi, I do. All right, next. The Drifter, dividend royalties. Okay, every company fluctuates dividends. Felon Musk, not necessarily so. Let me prove something to you. Okay. Somebody always says something. Okay, who said that one? Felon. Okay, so please tell us, what do you recommend as stock dividends? Hold that thought. Okay, so now we're going to take a look at a stock and way it should look. Okay, all the way back to 2005, because that's 20 years ago. Are you ready? 2005, 8. 2006, 9, 10, 11, 13, 16, 20, 23, 28, 31, 36, 39, 42, 46, 51, 56, 62, 68, 75, 83. Now, did that fluctuate? No, it didn't. Every single year, that company paid a higher and higher and higher and higher dividend. Every single year, higher, 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 higher. That's Microsoft. 25 years, this company has consistently increased its profits. There's over 300 companies that do the exact same thing. Every single year, higher and higher and higher profits. That's what I'm looking for. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on keeping on. Okay, you started at 8, ended at 13. Okay, thank you. 8 to a year sounds dope. Okay. Oh, eagerly, Coca-Cola. Now, Coca-Cola has been in business for over 140 years. But here's the thing. I've only invested in Coca-Cola, I think, 2 or 3 times in the last 30 years. And the reason being, right here. 68.73, which means a 69, it's going for 65 cents. Not quite 1%. Why would I invest in Coca-Cola if it's giving me less than 1%? I can look at Dell, Albemarle, Kohl's, Siri, Advanced Auto Parts, Mara, they're all giving over 1 or 2%. So why would I do Coca-Cola? It's giving me less than 1%. MSTY. There's always some bonehead looking at MSTY. Always. Why? Because they're screwing you and you don't even know it. MSTY. You don't need to believe me. Let's look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. You ready? MSTY right there. Okay? $17.33. Okay? The very first dividend they paid is in April 2024. This thing's not even 2 years old yet. And you think it's a good investment? Hold on. Hold on. Here we go. You ready? Very first dividend, $4.12. That's the very first one. $4.12 a share. That's freaking awesome, right? The very next dividend is $2.52. That's almost a 45% drop. How can you possibly tell me that's good? Hold on. It actually gets worse. Really does. 303, 233, backwards. 194, backwards. 185, backwards. 419, that went up. Okay, where is it? 419. 419. 442, oh, it went up twice. 308, that's down. 227, that's down. 202, that's down. 137, that's down. 133, that's down. Do you see a trend here? This thing goes down more often than it goes up. So why the hell are you putting your hard-earned money into a company that's not consistently profitable and it's not even 2 years old? You do what you want. You do what you think is right for you. I'm just giving you my opinion. Company's not profitable. It's less than 2 years old. No, for me. You like it, you do what you want. Next. Oh, Carbon Panth, FFAI. And why do I think that's going to be a crappy one too? FFAI. There are no dividends. So why are we looking at it? Next, WULF. WULF. This thing paid 2 dividends. 2. One in 2012 and one in 2021. So I'm kind of confused. You asked me to take a look at 3. Each one of them's no, no, hell no. You do what you want, brother. Karma will get you. Yes, it will. Drifter, they got to be like 20 years of production. What's wrong with that? Stock market's been around for 400 years. The very first dividend stock was sold in 1602. The Dutch East India Shipping Company, it ran for 198 years and it averaged 18% per year to its shareholders. What the hell's wrong with that? Okay, let's keep on going. Does covered call writing have risks? Everything has risk. Staying in bed, not getting out of bed has risks. Getting out of bed, jumping in the car, that has risks. Going on a date, that has risks. Eating at a restaurant, that has risk. SoFi, Joshua wants to take a look at SoFi. 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 No dividends for SoFi, so why are we looking at it? User 867611311815. Tesla doesn't have dividends. It's going to be a no. Comparing them to Microsoft, a $4 trillion company, seems a little disingenuous. Okay, You give me another company. Now, let's disregard the fact that Microsoft's a $4 trillion company. It is a company ran by a bunch of people, and they have been successfully profitable for 25 years or more. Okay, you gave me 4 companies to look at, each one not consistently profitable. I don't care how old they are. I don't care how young, well, I do care how young they are. I don't care how much money they make. I only care that they are consistently profitable. If they're not consistently profitable, I do not want to put my money into it. Now, I gave you a list of over 300 companies that are consistently profitable. You want to invest in whatever you want to invest in, that's your thing. You do what you think is right for you. I'm just telling you what I'm doing for me. And for me, if the company is not profitable, it is a no. That's a no. Okay. But his calls have no risk. He gets paid to resell the stock at the purchase price. Thank you, Drifter. He sells calls on the stocks he holds for 30 days. Actually, less than 30 days, but thank you. Dan B. He holds his stocks for at least 30 days. No, not necessarily so. Because I will buy a stock on a Monday and hopefully be out by a Friday. That's my ideal. Buy it on Monday, sell it on Friday. Okay? I have a trading account on my phone with Robinhood. Okay, 80% of all my stock trades are weekly. I buy them, I sell them, and they're gone in a week. I buy them, great. Make a profit, gone in a week. Then I have to find something else. SN, stability. Thanks, Mosh. SN, what the hell is SN? SN. No. Who came up with that one? Weenika. Okay. September, October, November, December, January. No. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Who's got that one? Mosh wants to take a look at Target. Ooh, Target had a nice drop. Let's see how it retraced. Oh, no. Look what's going on here at Target. Okay. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Big drop, jumps up. Now it's going back down again. Not quite filling this gap yet. See, I like 2 days to the upside. 1, 2. Okay, as soon as she comes over this mark right there, that's where I want to jump in. But 2 days in a row to the downside, still not quite there. I like Target, don't get me wrong. But I don't like Target around earnings. That's the only one I'll stay away from an earnings. Most of the part, I don't pay attention to earnings. But on that one, I do. How do you... Wait a minute. And now you have banks offering crypto-based collateral loans. No, not all of them. And no matter what they say, they want what for their cryptocurrency, US dollars for some other fiat currency, which is a riot. Okay, cool. If you don't want Bitcoin, I will want your... Okay, whatever. I'm not even going to bother with you. All right. Let's keep on looking on. What do we have? Right. All right, Sebastian, we already looked at advanced auto parts. I'm supporting you. Thank you. Eagle, where do you look up the list of dividend kings? Eagle, 18. Google. Bing, whatever search engine you use while you're online. You go to Google, in the search bar, you write Dividend Kings List 2025. Dividend Aristocrats List 2025. It's simple. It's easy. All right, hold on a second. I'll show you how simple this is. Some people get a little confused. Right there. Right there. Okay. That's Fisher, Seeking Alpha. Research, building wealth, blah, blah, blah. USA, look at it. They all have the list. Webull, right there. Where's the one I usually like? Let's do this one right here. There we go, right there. Okay. Dividend Aristocrats, right there, seeking alpha. Market Beat, Dividend Aristocrats list 2025. Sure Dividend, Dividend Aristocrats list 2025. Simply Safe Dividends, Dividend Aristocrats list. Dividend Growth Investor, Dividend Aristocrats list. Okay, there's so many different companies offering you Dividend Aristocrats list. Okay, Google. Leon, UPS. UPS. Wow, look at that. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Sideways down, up, down, sideways down, sideways 87.46, 87.46. 88 is going for 105. That's a yes. Let's take a look at the numbers. I mean, the numbers fine. Let's take a look at the chart a little closer to see, is it the right time to buy UPS? Gonna need the glasses for that one. A year ago, 129.39. The high of the year, late October, 147.80. Sorry, 144.87. Okay, the bottom was just recently. Okay, here's your last 30 days. High, low, where was it? Where is it? Look at this. Down, sideways. Okay, we're in a little bit of a downturn now, 87.46. If you like the 88s, it's offering a little over 1% if you like it. But we've had 2 down days in a row. Okay, but here's the bottom here. And it's a slow uptrend to where we're going. Very slow. But it's going to come back to that same question. Do you like UPS? Are you willing to hold on to it for as long as it takes to hit your target? Well, at this price here, my target would be 88. Okay? 88 is only right there. Right there. And what is that paying me? Well, this week the 88 is paying 105. That's 1.25%, somewhat like that. Well, that's not bad if you like UPS. Okay, Diego, AGNC. AGNC. No. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't like AGNC. Let me tell you the reason why I don't like it. Okay, you ready, Diego? Look at this. Not this, nothing to do with this whatsoever. Nothing to do with this whatsoever. Right here, $9.80. The $10 is going for, okay, the closest one here is going to be the 10. It's going for 2 cents. 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Yeah, the premiums are horrible. There's a few companies that have premiums this crappy also. Energy Transfer is the same way. Energy Transfer. Okay? 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay? Anytime I see a bunch of zeros, no thanks. It doesn't pay to play in their sandbox. No. Sorry. Next. Oh, we're at 11:30. Holy cow. Avi, do you think Costco is overpriced? Well, let's check it out. COST. Now, let me ask you a question. $941 per share. What do you guys think? Do you think $941 per share is too costly? I do. I won't buy anything over $250 because I want my money to work for me, not get stuck in something. KG4LUL. In video, not profitable, it's up 51.7%. NVDA. Who said that? KG4LUL. Okay, now KG4ULLL. Okay, see if you can follow this. 0.0018. 0.001875. 0.00.00.00.0021. So it goes from 0.0018 to 0.0021 to 0.0028 to 0.0028 to 0.0035 to 0.004 to 0.004 to 0.004 to 0.004 to 0.004 to 0.01. How the hell can you tell me that's up 51%? Because a dividend reflects the profits that the company makes. So if the company is profitable, they pay more money out in dividends. So it was at 0.004. Now it's at 0.01. So it went from 4/10 of a penny to 1 penny. Wait a minute. 4/10 of a penny to 1 penny. 4/10. So it was up 6/10. Hey, you're right. It did go up 51%. Because 0.04 or 4/100ths of a penny, 4/100ths of a penny to 1 penny. So you're paying $182 for a freaking penny, and you think that's good. Okay, hold on a second. Let's take a look at the summary. Summary. Here we go. NVIDIA, $181. Okay. Earnings per share, $3.09. $3.09 per share. That's the profits, $3.09. Forward dividend, 0.04. That's 4 cents for the whole year. So you're paying $182. You get 1 penny per quarter. That's 4 cents per year. That comes to a grand total of 0.02%. That's that's not, that's ours, all right. That's 2/1000ths of a percent. 2/1000ths of a percent. Okay, it's not 1%, which would be here. 1/100th would be here, and 1/1000th would be there. So this pays 0.02. That's 2/1000ths of a percent. And you think that's good? Hey, you have fun with it, brother. I don't like it. Number one, they have not been consistently profitable. Their earnings per share is $3 per share. Well, I can buy like General Motors. They have it like, what is it, like $87 per share in profits? Why the hell would I buy that? Like, you buy that whatever you want. Not me. Doesn't work for me. Curbside J. We already looked at SCHD. Emma. PLJD. What the hell is that? PLEJD. PLEJD. What the hell is this thing? PLEJD. Okay. Cannot find that symbol. I'm terribly sorry. PLEJD is not showing up. So I have no idea what the hell that is. Okay, Slacker, Drop Pepper. I have no idea what that means. DJ, Veil. Okay, DJ, you've seen me do Veil before. Oh, that's right. I remember this one. Okay. Here we go. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at the motion. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Okay, 1022. The 10s are going for 28. I'm losing 22 right off the top, which means I'm walking away with 6. Hell no. The 1050 is going for 5. Hell no. Sorry, dude. The numbers just don't work on Vail. Slacker, Dr. Pepper. Ooh, what was Dr. Pepper? I forget that one. Okay, Emma. Luden Gold. PLEJD. We already looked it up. It doesn't exist. What about Costco? We already looked at Costco. AMC. Really? AMC? Are you shitting me? Okay, AMC. Up, down, up, down, up, down. I'm going to say no because at $2.89, the 3's going for 5 cents. Okay, maybe. 286, the 3's going for 5. That's more than 1%. If you like AMC. Bitcoin started out for pennies. Now it's over 100,000. You guys still talking about Bitcoin? Gamble both ways while gaining a dividend both ways. Okay. 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 If you ever watched the movie Wall Street, Gecko really does summarize it. Yeah, he kind of does. UNC, wrap it up. All right. I get selling options way safer. All right, Griff, love to know how you sell them safer. KDP is Dr. Pepper. KDP. September, October, January, March. I don't do monthlies. The numbers just don't work. Terribly sorry. Saying a bunch of nothing. I'm saying a bunch of nothing. Telling us what the data shows us. We already know that. Okay, so why don't you explain what it is you want to hear? Because you're complaining that I'm saying a bunch of nothing, but you don't offer anything otherwise. Because you're just blurbing out blurb, telling us what the data shows. Okay, we already know that. Okay, great. What do you want to hear? This is high school level. Okay, I'm terribly sorry, Chuck, but I didn't learn this in high school. Please look at PLEJD. I just told you, PLEJD. Right there. We cannot find that symbol. And I put it in my PLEJD. Terribly sorry, kiddo. It doesn't exist in the U.S. stock market. And Chucky, well, not you, Chucky. Who's the other one? LJ Hanna. Yeah, LJ Hanna, you have anything interesting to say? Curbside J, we already looked at that. Which platform are you using? That's Thinkorswim. Olive, thank you. Chris, thank you. Brian, all right. Golf guy. Long-time FX trader here wanting to learn this method. It is easy. Yep, it is. Emma, please look at PLAGD. We already looked at that one. Vail, we already looked at Vail. On my mama, okay. Teresa, is XRP a good investment? XRP is not a dividend stock, kiddo. Sorry. Angie, UNH. UNH. There you go. Here's the high, here's the low, here's where it was, here's where it is. Look at this, sideways, down, up, down. So it's actually in a downward trend at the moment. Okay, the bottom, you cannot get any lower than the bottom of the year. And that was a couple of weeks ago. She shot up, now she's coming back down again. Not quite sure what it is you wanted to see there. Are you 70? Are you kidding me? Do I really look 70 to you? Not an old enough to retire, thank you. You look like 50 and you have worked 50 years. My first job was in 1973. I'm 61. Okay, you do the math. TSLA. Isn't that an ETF for Tesla? TSLA. Monthly, no. I don't do monthlies. Ooh, Grant. I love Dell. I do. Dell. Interesting. Take a look. Here's the high. Here's the low. Here's where it was. Here's where it is. Look at this. Up, down, up. So here's the top here, coming back down at the bottom. Now she's bouncing back off of that. Well, let's zoom in. But before we zoom and take a little closer, is it worth our while? 130.99 to 131. Look at this. 615 at 131. Okay, that's close to 5% for 1 week. So let's look a little deeper into Dell. See if we like Dell. People that get rich in stocks are just lucky. Terribly sorry, I'm going to have to disagree with you. People that understand it versus people that play it. I'm going to agree with that too. He probably wouldn't even waste your time holding AMC. No, I wouldn't. Oops, voice to text is messing up my sentence. AMC is perfectly fine if you have the stomach to hold, okay? What I mean to say, Bitcoin, okay, all right, I'm gonna just get rid of this guy. I'm tired of looking at this Bitcoin crap. I don't do Bitcoin, and there's a reason why. He's only interested in companies that are profitable and have been profitable. Well, Jerry says I only interested in companies that are profitable for over 20 years. Jerry, that makes sense. Why would you put money into a company that's not profitable? Short cryptocurrency. I'm getting rid of him too. Wait a second. What is he saying? Bitcoin has no intrinsic value. It only has value between the seller and the buyer. Oh my God, I love that. That is awesome because Bitcoin has no value other than a wink and a nod from someone at the end of the screen. He's absolutely right. He is. There is no value. Bitcoin doesn't make anything. Bitcoin doesn't own anything. It's not backed by gold. It's not backed by oil. It's not backed by real estate. It's backed by the exact same thing. Well, no, it's not, because the US dollar is backed by debt, which we all love debt, and we're all in debt. Gold has value outside the buyer and seller for the usages, Julie, blah, 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 semiconductor. Yeah, it does. Unfortunately, you can't get weekly cash flow from gold. All right, I'm not going to even deal with this anymore. Let's deal with Dell because that's what we're looking at. Okay, so here we go. Here's the bottom right there. Let's see the numbers for Dell. Okay, that's what we're looking at. Serenity 238. Did you miss NVIDIA? I didn't miss it at all. A year ago, 111.96. The top of the year, 148. The bottom of the year, oh, look at that. First 2 weeks in April, 66. Now, check this out. From the bottom of the year, 66, she shoots up to 140. That's over 100% gain. Okay. So what happened in the last 30 days? Okay, last 30 days. High, the low, where was it? Where is it? Up, down, up, down. Now it's going up. Great, it's an upward trend. 130.99, 130.99, 130.99, 130.99, 130 is going for 665. The 131 is going for 615. Well, let's see what that looks like. I love Dell. I've seen Dell go from nothing to something. So let's see what Dell looks like on a covered call. 131 right there. One contract right there at the market right there. Confirm and send. Here's Johnny. Buy one covered call Dell 100 weeklies. That's the weeklies. 5 September 25, that's not this Friday, that's next Friday. The 131 call option against Dell at the market to open, 131. It's currently at 139. Come on, really? 130.99. How much closer to 131 do you want to get? Seriously. If I buy it at 130.99 and I sell it for 131, I collect $622 per contract. And the stock doesn't have to move at all. It doesn't have to move. It can stay right where it is or go up 1 penny. So ask yourself the question, does it make sense? Do I like this company? Do I like this company at this price? Am I willing to buy it, hold it, and do a covered call every single week? Because Dell, I can do a covered call every single week until it hits my target. What's my target? 131. What's it at now? 130.99. How long do you think I'm going to have to hold it for it to hit 131? Yes, it can go down. Yes, stocks do go down. Just because I buy it doesn't mean it's going to go up. There's that risk. So the risk is, do I like this company enough to put my hard-earned money into? And then do a covered call every single week to gain some kind of weekly cash flow? It's an interesting question. Let's see what the math looks like. Calculator, 622 is the current profit, and the investment is going to be 12,478, and that comes to a grand total of 4.98%. That's close to 5% for 1 week. Can you imagine 5% per week? Now, I don't even get 5% per week. Now, I have, wait, hold on. I want to show you something. Let's go back to here. Go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. These are all my trades for 2025 so far. Okay, all the way back to the beginning of the year. I don't make 1% every single week. That's my goal. So let's go back to week number 1. Okay. Now, remember I said I got 7 accounts. I share 3 of them publicly. So you can see every single trade I've made in these 3 accounts. Okay, account 1, account 2, account 3. Just click on any one. Okay. Here's the timestamp. Here's what kind of trade it was, how many contracts, what the stock was, what the strike price was, what my profit was. Okay, red is not bad. Red means I sold. Green means I bought. Okay, so week 1. Remember, my goal is 1% a week. I don't get 1% every single week. So let's take a look. Quick look. Week 1, December 30th to January 3rd. 6.1, 1.8, 4.2. Week 2, 1.8, 1.7, 2.3. Week 3, 4.8, 3.6, 1.8. Week 4, 3.3, 2.02, and 2.3. Okay, 3.5, 1.2, 3.8. Okay. 3, 1.5, 3.7, so on and so forth. They're all there. Very rarely do I get 5% or more. 1, 2, 1, 2, 4, 2, 3, 1, 4, 4, 2, 2, 2. Oh, here you go. Take a look at this one. Okay. Week 12, first quarter, March 17th to March 21st, 2.1, 0.62. I didn't hit 1% this week. Look at this one, 0.39. I didn't hit it there either. I don't hit it every single week. I strive for it. It's my goal, okay? And the other weeks make up for it, okay? 1.3, 1.2, 3.1. 2.7, 2.4, 3.01. They're all there. Every single, well, in those 3 accounts, every single trade is logged so you can actually see. And the green is where I buy something, and the red is where I sell something. Okay? There's all the profits right there. All of those profits. Added up. Very nicely done. Anyway, let's get out of there. Oh, we have 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left. Let's take a look at some more questions. For that, I'm going to need my trusty old stool. All right, what do we have for questions? Okay. Leon, we already looked at UPS. AGNC, we already looked at that one. Eagle, 8. Okay. Wolf, good for swing day trading. Okay, I don't do that. Can I get the list? Joshua, the list is Dividend Kings, Dividend Aristocrats, Dividend Champions, Dividend Contenders. Look on Google. They'll tell you them. Creighton Barrett, when? Okay, we'll look at it next time. Sebastian, we already looked at Advanced Auto Parts. Felon, LUV, which is Southwest Airlines. We looked at that one. You can Google the Royals. Yes, you can. Crichton, Gap. Ooh, I like Gap. Monarchs. What the heck are Monarchs? I never heard of that one. All right, I'm trying to get all these questions. AGNC, blah, 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 blah. Google the Royals. What the hell are the Royals? Monarchs. Dividend Monarchs. Hold on a second. Got piqued my interest there. Dividend Monarchs. Okay, get the dividend payments, blah, blah, blah. So 12 stocks to hold forever. Snowball Analytics, Dividend Monarchs Index. Dividend Monarchs Index. S&P, Dividend Kings, Dividend Monarchs list. Dividend Monarchs list 2025. A list of dividend monarchs is not a standard financial term. However, there's a list of dividend kings, and there's a list, yeah. Okay, sorry, there is no such list as a dividend monarchs. Alrighty, Unity Software, Kratz Music. Got to explain that one to me. Let's take a look at it next time. CVX, Crichton, I love Chevron. Their time is their level like Volk is 100 years. That makes them a king, I think. No, a dividend king is a company that has increased its profits to their shareholders for 5 decades or more. So Diego Altria, yep, that's a dividend king. GD, Applied Materials, that's on the list also. How do I like Intel? I love Intel. I actually have some Intel. Please explain me options. Okay, I'm not quite sure what that name is because I can't read that language, but an option is more or less the right to do something without the obligation. Let me explain something to you. Okay, let's say hypothetically speaking, I want to sell this. Okay, let's say I value it at $10. You want to buy it at $10, so you give me $1 to hold. Let's say you give me 50 cents to hold it until Friday. So if Friday comes by, you have the option to buy it at $10 or to not. So if you don't, I can turn around next week and sell it to someone else and collect another premium. What do I think about Joe? I have no idea who Joe is. Visa, user 86761138, or whatever. We'll take a look at Visa next time. Okay, Brandon, we looked at FLNG a little while ago. Diego Altria, we'll take a look at it next time. Intel. CCOI, let's look at it later. Riley, 8 years old, working for whom? 1973. I don't think I was 8. Hold on. No, I was 10. I was 10 years old, my very first job. Okay? And that was working with Old Man Simmons. Picking tomatoes, watermelon, squash, corn, doing, what do you call it? Firewood, whatnot. You got to remember, the 60s and 70s, total different story. I got off the school bus and jumped in the back of Old Man Simmons' truck. Didn't even go home. Okay, Brent Fleischner. Thoughts on Ligma? Never heard of it. Dell has earnings come out. Yes, it does. EXOD. No idea what that is. Thoughts on KDP? We already looked at it. It's a monthly. That means no. I reviewed it. Thank you, Leah. Good evening, Miss Leah. Mikey G. What did he said was nearly 5%? Mikey G, I forget which one that was. I think it was Dell. I'm not sure. I had to zoom in on those profits. Yeah, me too. Intel, check FILA. Hollywood, how you doing? NBY, William, we'll check a look at tomorrow. PLTR seems rocky. Yeah, take a look at the profits. How consistently profitable has PLTR been? NBY will pay 80 cents a share owned in September. Okay, we'll take a look at it another time. PCG. Okay, Sweet Den, how you doing? Rich bitch. Okay, see, being rich is one thing. Being a bitch is another. But advertising you're a rich bitch, why would you do that? Is Joby any good? I'm going to let you answer your own question, Metaverse Gaming. Take a look at Joby and take a look at how consistently profitable have they been. How long have they been in business? Riley Max, you're 61. Cool beans. We're in the same boat. Uh-oh. Can you explain what dividend is in your own words? Oh, a dividend is a portion of the profits the company gives back to the investors. If the company is profitable, it will take those profits and give it back to the investors. So as the company makes more money, the investors get more dividends, more money. That's what it means. LV10, Sweet Den, not quite sure. It's PDI. Mario, PDI, we'll look at it next time. Chick-fil-A, I don't think they're 20 years old. Okay, William, explain EX dividend. Okay, EX dividend is the last day the stock trades before the dividend is paid. I don't know how else to explain it. William, each one of these little green dots represents a company that has been consistently profitable. If you want to collect the dividend from Roper or Mtronics or International Toolworks, the very last day you can buy it before they pay the dividend is called the EX dividend date. If you buy it on the 29th, the 22nd, the 16th, you will collect the dividend. If you buy it on the 1st or the 2nd, you will not get the dividend. The EX date is the last day the stock trades, is the dividend, EX dividend date. Sweet Den, thank you. Chick-fil-A, you have to give me the ticker symbol. Yugi Gerard, guess he's not going to look here. Nope, I'm not going to look here, Yugi. Riley, do you reinvest your dividends, and which stocks do you have long-term over a year? I think it was Kohl. Wasn't it Kohl's I had for over a year? I think so. Other than that, 9 months was the longest I've ever held anything. Chick-fil-A is 79 years old. Okay, what's the ticker symbol for Chick-fil-A? Simple question. I've never bought the stock from Chick-fil-A. So I'm clueless on that one. Back over this YO clip. Thank you. So Hollywood Norwood, please, if you would, what is the ticker symbol for Chick-fil-A? It's private. Well, that's not going to do us any good now, is it? Vail, NVIDIA, camera, middle tonight. Yep. Where are we? Okay, TSLA. There we go. Dell, Vail, did I miss NVIDIA? Camera is mirrored tonight. Yep, nice, gotta love it. This person is impersonating someone. They're just screen sharing the live. I'm not quite sure what the hell that means. Chick-fil-A doesn't have a ticker symbol. It's a private. Well, then why the hell are you asking me to take a look at it? APLD, we'll have to do that one later. Dimitri, MSTY, we already looked at that one. It's a no. So Scud Adabadu, whatever the fuck that is. Scub Data Abad. Okay, I can't even read that name. This person is impersonating someone. There's just screen sharing. Oh, okay. Not quite sure what you're doing. Why are you saying that? Really? NVIDIA points go to make me a millionaire. Well, you have fun with that one. Emma, Lug stock. Never even heard of Lug. What the hell is Lug? LUG. I have never even heard of it. All right, Emma, that's like the second one you give me that doesn't exist. Okay, I'm assuming, Emma, you're not in the United States. Brian Cook, ALB, Able Mile. I actually bought some of that this week, but we'll have to take a look at it tomorrow. How many stocks do you find a week that are a yes? Over 30. Can you do SPY? It's a hell no. AMC is a no. DJO Realty is a monthly optional stock. That's a no. East meets Westy Bestie. Hey, girlie, how you doing? We've chatted before. Nice to see you. Mara, I actually own some Mara, and no, we already looked at it tonight. ULTY, we have to look at it tomorrow. Ticker Snap. What the hell is Snap? Is that Snapple? S-N-A-P. Snap-on. Yeah. Is that Snap-on? Yes, we have. CTRE. Okay. QCOM. Okay, it's past 11 o'clock. We're not looking at anything else. I'm just going to answer questions. Sorry. The Bronx Bear. ASML. Okay. Check with me tomorrow. We'll take a look at it. US Rare Earth. We'll take a look at that one tomorrow also. All righty. Okay, DJ. Realty is a monthly. It's a no. You've been here long enough to know that. Mr. Jets, Hems, hasn't been here for 20 years, brother. Just not old enough. Mr. Jets, Lincoln, Elena, blah, blah, blah. SMCI, gotta love it. Coles. Dan B, I actually bought some Coles this week. What do you think about AutoZone overpriced? That's what I think. MP, Easty, Westy, Eats, okay, whatever. MP, Military Police. Oh, MP Materials. Interesting. We'll have to look at it tomorrow. Not today, because I'm basically done. Premiums over everything. Thanks, Wild Clip. Leah Williams, the day you must purchase by. Thank you, Leah. Correct. SNA is Snap. Creamy Itchy Go Nuts. Really? You really want to use that as a name? Creamy Itchy Go Nuts. All right, whatever. What do I think about AutoZone? It's overpriced. Probably higher. What is the main field do you invest in? Even if we liquidated everything within the company, its value would be 9 to 10 times the breakup. All right, I'm not quite sure what the hell you guys are talking about. I'm going to tell you now, no investor with a brain or institution is comfortable holding on to Tesla stock. I'm going to have to disagree with you there, Jerry. Only because, Jerry, here's my thoughts on Tesla. Now, at this moment in time, I don't invest in Tesla, but I am going to start investing in Tesla. I just don't know when. But here's the reason why. Okay, Jerry, the reason why I'm going to start investing in Tesla, number one, is in 50 to 100 years, you're going to say, who was the first person to colonize Mars? Well, that would be Elon Musk. Well, he has everything he needs. He's got the rockets. He's got, the rockets to get there and back. He's got the robotics, okay, the, what do you call them? Those robots that they actually do everything. They're autonomous. They can do basically everything unattended. He already has that. He's got the solar company. Well, there is no petroleum-based fuel on Mars. But guess what there is? Sunlight. So he's got that. So he's got the electric vehicles. Well, there's no petroleum on Mars. So you can only navigate with an electric vehicle. So he's got the electric vehicles, he's got the robots, he's got the solar, he's got the rockets, he's got the tunneling machine. You got those 5 different companies all perfectly lined up for colonizing a, what do you call it? A celestial enterprise. Mars or the moon, one or the other. He has almost everything he needs. So yeah, you ain't going to get away from Tesla, unless of course something happens to him. Open door, please. Okay, Lakey in Canada. I have no idea what open door please means, because I can open the door. That's not going to do anything. Also, Mars is uninhabitable. There's no practical way to have people living there. Absolutely right. But there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with those robots. Yeah, I'm well aware of that. But how many other companies are at the place where he is at? I'm not saying he's going to do it next week or the week after. He's making leaps and bounds stretches to eventually there will be an opportunity for him to send a whole bunch of robots, a whole bunch of solar panels, a whole bunch of electric vehicles, and that tunnel digging thing for them to actually start doing something on that planet, start the terraforming. Because eventually there will be something there, most likely within my lifetime. And who's leading the field there? Tesla. Cannot get past the Van Allen's belt. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we have sent out probes that are way, way, way out there that got past the Van Allen belt. If it did, we would just fix the Earth. Okay, again, there are probes that they sent to Mars that are actually on Mars right now, okay, filming and sending back information of what's on there. There are also probes on the moon, which is past the Van Allen belt also. We can sit here and argue all you want. I'm just saying. Okay, I'm just saying that eventually he's lining up everything for the initiation of colonizing a different planet. And he is everything that he needs. He's just tweaking out the rest of the bugs. And eventually, when all the bugs are done and over with, he's the man who's going to do it. Hypothetically speaking, he's the closest one there. All right. We're past 11. I've answered all the questions except for YouTube. I feel bad for you guys on YouTube. In order for a company to triple its value, it needs to be profitable. Tesla's not profitable. Money moves the market, and if you don't make money, you should be moving. Yeah, I hear what you're saying, Jerry. I do. I'm well aware he's not immortal. I'm well aware of that. Okay? What is he, 60-something? He's in his 60s. Okay? He's got a long way to go. He's made, all right, I'm not even going to bother with this. You know, I'm not trying to sell anybody on Elon Musk. I'm not trying to sell anybody on Tesla. All I'm saying is what is factual. He has a rocket company. He has a tunneling machine. He has a solar company. He has an electric car company. And he has a robotics company. What else does he need in order to terraform and send robots into space to do something up there? He's got basically everything he needs. It's risky to own a company based on one man. Yeah, but he's not the only one there. Okay, anyway. GLD IUA 2 ETFs with weekly options, expirations, and a track of price gold. Okay, Robert, I'm not quite sure what you mean by that, but okay. Okay? So anyway, like I said, I'm not investing in Tesla yet, but eventually I will be, because he's 54. There is no way possible to ignore the fact of what he is doing. You may not like him, you may not agree with him, but you can't ignore facts. Facts are what they are. He may not own the company, but he is the big cheese in the rockets. You know what? I've done it many times. Anyway, it's past 11 o'clock. I'm done for the night. We're going to do this exact same thing again tomorrow. Cash secured puts. Need a strategy? I love cash secured puts. I'm not going to teach them here because I already teach one strategy. Only one, WyoClip. You know that. You've been here long enough. That being said, I'm done for the night. You guys have a great day. Done over there. Done over here. Okay. Uh-oh. No. Done there. And. Okay. That one. Cool. Righty. Alan, have a great night. You too. See you guys all again tomorrow. And you guys here, done there. We definitely got to get